All right, so welcome. Apparently my mic was messing up, so A plus start. So we got our runners off here. We are this is game 2 of the Final Fantasy Randomizer co-op tournament, the Upstarts versus Team Scrub. This co-op tournament began yesterday, and the Upstarts and Team Scrub faced off late last night, and the Upstarts took the victory after a very challenging Temple of Fiends Revisited. It looks like right now we have both of our runners, all 4 of our runners seem to be holding hands right now, going through the Castle Canary, which ended up being a Cardia treasure location, and now all checking the magic shops. So, Retrotainment. I know my mic was off to a shaky start there at the beginning, because what wouldn't go wrong? The second time I'm doing restreaming. This is awesome. So, we got our runners.
Everyone heard me first. I'm the important one.
There you go. So that means that everyone missed my introduction of you. Retrotainment, you and I, we've been good friends for probably close to 10 years now. Relatively new to the Final Fantasy Randomizer community, as am I. And I just noticed that Canuck stream's a little wobbly looking, so I'm going to try to fix that real quick while we're talking. So Retro, why don't you tell the folks a little bit about your history with the Final Fantasy Randomizer?
So I wasn't even really aware that this was a thing until Caleb introduced me to it. I'd say maybe 2 years ago, maybe a little bit longer than that. He would watch the videos, and I remember he would sit me down and be like, you should check this out. It's interesting. And I'd sit there at first and kind of be like, I don't get it. What's the point? And I don't understand why people are doing this. And then over time, I would sit there and it just kind of seed in my head, and it's just I don't get it. I don't get it. Wait a minute. Why is he doing that? Okay, this is interesting. And it's become something I've been more interested in watching and following lately, now that Caleb's involved in it. But this co-op stuff here is a whole different level. I'm watching this now. It's absolutely insane what's going on. So, pretty exciting.
This is an interesting setup we have here, and it looks like the cutoff on Canuck's stream is coming from his stream itself. So there's nothing really I can do about that cutoff at the bottom of the screen. So yeah, Fury, you've been or Retro. I'm gonna call you by the right name.
Whatever you want to call me, it doesn't matter.
We were watching these streams years ago, not necessarily the co-op, but watching these runners, folks like Woat, and Falconic and Will Cleosis running these seeds in the Final Fantasy Randomizer spring tournaments from the past, and the one-day tournaments, all the other fun stuff that happens in this community. And the co-op is something that's been around for a little bit, but finally perfected to a point where, we got Oxiel from Bicky the pirate. So that's going to allow our runners to enter the Onrak dungeon when they find the city of Onrak, which they're going to need either the airship and canoe or a boat to get to. As that is on one of the northern continents. The co-op system has been in development for, I think, about a year now, and there were some bugs that were hammered out recently, and it has allowed us to kind of show off this system, show off another way to play Final Fantasy Randomizer, and I know I love it. I know a lot of our runners here, they get a kick out of it. The feedback we've gotten from the community regarding it has been a lot of fun, and I'm so excited for this tournament. So as you can all see on everybody's screen, they have the little green dots up there, and that means that those streams are communicating with one another. So we see on Woat's screen, he picked up the tail, and Canuck picked up the Oxiel. In about 14 seconds or so, we're going to see red text pop up across the top of their screen saying Woat picked up the tail, and Canuck opposite screens. They're sharing key items with each other. They're going to be sharing orb collections. They're going to be sharing other things, like when one of them translates the slab, they're going to share that. And ultimately, when one of them kills Chaos, the Ultimate Fiend, that in-game key item will also be shared. One of the biggest features of the co-op tournament is this entrance and floor shuffle. These are flags that we've been playing with for a while now, and this has pivotal in the co-op tournament. We don't want our runners just running through the vanilla layout of the game and just finding things where they know things are going to be. We want them digging, we want them hunting, we want them communicating with one another, and that's exactly what they're doing. We can't hear them right now, but they're in their own voice chats and they're talking to one another, letting each other know, like, hey, I just found the TNT in Sky. I just found the bottle in Sky. And so Gregley's sharing that information with Dangwu as he's getting ready to dive into the Marsh Cave. And this is, like, I feel like you need, like, ADHD medication to watch all 4 of these at the same time. So big shout out.
Seriously, I'm trying to follow this, and I'm wondering where, like, June's medicine is right now, because, like, it's so much going on, and I'm loving every minute of it. Just, it's
so important.
I don't understand how you wouldn't like this if you're a nerd.
Amazing double find here on Gregley Puff and Team Upstart side. Gregley Puff just found the Marsh split, while his partner Dangwu found the C split. And those are 2 important locations in the entrance and floor shuffle, because they're the only 2 floors of a dungeon that have forks where there's stairs going either directions. And they're important to know because we see Dangwu check left side C split and found Sardis Cave, and now he's waiting for Gregley Puff to get that canoe that he got from Sarda, and he's going to walk over and check the right side. But all right, so, and then on the right side it looks like there's a Cardia treasure, and Woat is following in their footsteps with that. So the other important thing.
So just ask a question here real quick. The little box we got in the middle there, that we have, like, looks like the specifics for the match. It's like experience 4 times plus 250.
Exactly.
Those are just the parameters for the specific seeds they're playing, correct?
Perfect question. So that is exactly, those are the truncated flags for what our runners are working with. We're working with an entrance floor shuffle, which I've already kind of described. We're working with randomized shop prices. So our shops are going to be capped. They're good. Everything in the shops are going to be a minimum of 100% of their vanilla cost, up to 500% of their vanilla cost. So we can see some very pricey items. We could see a max price key item in the vendors. So in the vanilla game, there's a bottle for sale in the caravan on one of the northern continents that I think is worth 50k. So that can scale up to 500 times its original cost, which in the randomizer is 65,535 gold. That is the gold cap. And so we might see some max price items for sure. The upside of that is we might find some items that we don't really want that will sell to the vendor for max price, and that'll net us about 32k in gold as we sell those items. We see enemy stats are randomized 40% to 250%. That means those imps that have a vanilla health of 8 HP, they might only have 3 HP. They could roll up to, don't do math live on Twitch, 20 HP. Math. So, exactly. So the bosses are also going to be, the bosses are the more important thing because they are clamped at 100%, which means all of the bosses that our runners face in both the regular Fiend dungeons as well as the Temple of Fiends Revisited are going to have a minimum 100% of their health to a maximum of 200% of their health. And it's not just their health that scales, it's also their strength, their absorb, their magic defense, their agility.
Ooh, that's nuts.
So we might be seeing folks dive into Temple of Fiends Revisited trying to swing the best sword in the game, whether that's the Vorpal or the Maso, whoever's team you're on, and do one hit, one damage. And it's just like, okay, well maybe we need to add some swings onto that weapon with a fast spell or some strength to overcome that absorb with the temper spell. We also see that XP is 4 times, so any XP that they're getting is going to be 4 times what the vanilla game would normally give. That plus 250s, they're going to be getting an extra 250 gold for every encounter that they take. And the 200% at 12 key items, when our runners achieve 12 key items, they will receive a 200% bonus to their XP. And the 0.5 encounter rate just means that while they're walking around the overworld and in the dungeons, they're going to be hitting half as many encounters as they normally would. Whew, I need to take a drink of water real quick. Oh no, we just saw the Hangry Canuck take a wipe. It looked like to the Wizards. I missed what the Wizards had there, but something got him and put his whole party to sleep as Canuck wipes out of the Earth Cave.
So it definitely seems like with the parameters set for the seeds, it's more inclined to have you go into combat and like finish it out, as opposed to where I've seen with some of like the single player matches where you may want to just run from certain encounters to get more of an edge ahead in the game.
Yeah, so this is the way these we've seen a lot of strategies working in the co-op, whether it's practices or I'm in the co-op league, and it's something that my partner and I, we talk about, Hyra Fellows, where typically one person is primarily doing information and the other teammate might be focusing on finding that good grind tile, because that's another thing that's not highlighted in the flag sets. The random trap tiles, where in the vanilla game they're typically in front of certain treasure chests, and when you step on those, it triggers a set encounter, a scripted encounter that you're going to have to face in the vanilla game. Those monster packs, such as in the ice cave fighting the eye, that's going to be randomized to somewhere else. So our runners are going to be looking for a good spike tile that they can stand on and build up some experience, so that when they dive into the Temple of Fiends, they have those levels to make it a little bit easier to overcome those clamped boss stats. As Greggly Puff finds the Dwarf Cave on the north side of the marsh split there. And we got folks in chat. We got Will Cleosis in chat hyping up the Game Changers. That's him and Falconic. They're playing Friday night, 9 p.m. Eastern. That's going to be an exciting match to race. I hear they're undefeated, but I hear they have also only played in one game. So kudos to you guys for being undefeated, man. The Upstarts.
It's small victories that count, you know.
The Upstarts, they're also undefeated right now in this co-op tournament. Oh, they've played 2 games. Thank you, Will, for correcting me. That's right, you guys. I believe your previous victories have come on the backs of Trash Island Fire Department, the Tarnin and Lord Fizzlebeef team, who was playing last night as well and got their first win against Team Thunderous Recap with Minochi85 and Thundercloud, one of the strongest ducklings we have in the duck pond right now. Whew, okay.
We talk about how great the name Trash Island Fire Department is real quick. Like that's pretty.
There's a lot of clever names out there. Trash Island Fire Department's a lot of fun. Game Changers, you would expect no less from Will Cleosis and Falconic, sort of the ambassadors of that team. They are the faces of it. They are the Mount Rushmore of Team Vorpal. As we see Greggly Puff taking an intentional counter, this is typically a Agama tile that he's stepping on. And he finds 3 mages, and that's a good fight, especially early game. They usually roll less than 100 HP, and he steps over to see what the Grey Worm trap tile is, and it's the Frosty. That's a little less lucrative for my money, but that Agama tile being a mage tile is pretty good. As we got folks in Provoca, we got folks shopping, we got Upstarts doing some exploration. He finds a mute gauntlet and a ribbon. Ribbon is huge, so that ribbon is going to.
It is.
The ribbon grants, I think it's 8, or it's 1 absorb, and it grants resistance to all 8 of the elements. So any damage that they would be dealt from fire, ice, lightning, any sort of spell like that is going to be cut in half, as the Hangry Canuck finds the carry floor immediately in the on-rack dungeon. That's what I was talking about, Retro, where Canuck is right now is in a town that has its own dungeon. And in order to get into that town, you need the Oxyale. So he finds the carry floor. He skips the treasure chest to the left, which is an incentivized chest in the vanilla game. It gives you the flame armor, and he's just going to go right down and pull carry. So we got Jed Levi in chat asking, what's a mute gauntlet? A mute gauntlet is probably a heal gauntlet redisguised as, or reskinned as a mute gauntlet. So one of the flags for this tournament is shuffled item magic. So those heal gauntlets that you would normally find that would normally cast the heal spell in battle are only going to cast mute this time. You want those to be the heal gauntlet. Well, I guess you maybe want the mute gauntlet to be the power bonk, because then the heal gauntlets, of which there are 2 in the games, might turn into something else. If it's the Oh, okay. Thank you, Will Cleos, for correcting me. That it's not a heal gauntlet; it's a heal helmet that there's 2 of in the game. The Zeus gauntlet and the Power gauntlet. Zeus gauntlet casts Lightning 2 in the vanilla game. Power gauntlet casts Saber. which our wonderful devs have fixed the bug in the Saber spell, which actually allows it to function as intended. Alright, so where are we at? We got, perfect example, Woke just found a Quake Stick. That Cake Stick is going to be awesome. I can't wait for Dangwoo to find that. I would imagine their voice chat is going to go nuts when Dangwoo finds a Cake Stick. He loves him some cake strats. As Gregglypuff finds the top of Marsh, I think Canuck is the only one that's found a Fiend, and that's important information. With the entrance and floor shuffle, finding the Fiends, finding the loot, and finding the key are typically all you really need to have go mode. Once you've identified where all those Fiends are, and you have the loot to get past the plate in the Temple of Fiends, and you have the key to open that door once you go through that plate, you're good to go march your way down through the Temple of Fiends Revisited to open or to break that time loop and kill Chaos. As Gregglypuff has 2 chests left to check and just a little bit of gold. Alright. And Canuck's checking out the trap tile here in Earth 2. Finds a giant. That's not as lucrative. That's good money, but not really the XP that you would want out of that fight. So, we got folks still traveling around. We have Woat on the TFC floor. He's got 1 chest left to check without the key. Alright.
Spell's a little bit pricey for Dangwoo there right now.
That level 1 Cure 4 though, I completely missed that in the... So that level 1 Cure 4, it being in the bottom slot there means it is learnable by Dangwoo's Knight, which is a huge spell to find. That Cure 4 will, in combat, will cure any status ailment other than Death and Stone, and will bring you to full HP. It's basically the vanilla game's version of a Mega Elixir, or I guess just the regular Elixir because it doesn't target the whole party, as it removes status effects and cures to full. And out of combat, though, it will just bring you back to full. It won't cure the status effects out of combat, which the only status effect out of combat is Stone, Death, and Poison. For Poison, you gotta have those.
So it would basically turn them into a paladin.
Yeah, especially if they. I missed what a lot of the magic was early on. I was talking a lot, but unless there was I really like when the knight can find the Fade spell, the Harm 4 spell, because it really does flavor the knight as that paladin of the group. As Woat takes a unfortunate wipe diving through the dwarf cave, and he's gonna walk away and go check something else. And it looked like Life 2 was also at level 2, so that every spell at level 2 white magic is learnable by a knight. It's learnable by a red wizard. So those are great spells to find, as the gargoyles have Glare. Glare is an instant death ability, I believe. I'm sure Will in chat is going to correct me. I think it is Time Elemental. But it is, if it hits, it instantly kills you. So things that will protect against that are going to be pro rings, which are often for sale in our armor shops. It's just where they're for sale and how much they cost is randomized.
Yeah, I did see the pro cape pop up on Dangwoo when he was in the armor screen there, but no pro ring so far.
If you saw a pro cape, he might have been in the sell screen, as pro capes are something that's typically not for sale. The pro cape is, there's 2 of them in the
there's
game.
A ribbon.
Another ribbon. That's awesome. That's an awesome find. The Pro Cape is a shield slot that only... it's the only shield that the wizards can wear, other than the red wizard who can wear a buckler. But
that is definitely a possibility. Like trying to monitor all the windows at once. You just see Pro Cape, and then I looked up and saw Opal Armor for like 65 grand.
That might have been a sell screen. I'm pretty sure if our shop items are randomized, that would definitely be a thing. But I'm pretty sure shop items are not on, but maybe they are. If somebody in chat, Will, Falconic, if you guys are there, want to clarify that for me, I appreciate that. But I'm almost certain, the way that these runners, how quickly they menu, it can be hard to keep track of whether or not that was a buy or a sell screen. and we're still checking item shops because we know that there's that vendor item that I was talking about earlier in the vanilla game. We can find it in the caravan. That location is now shuffled throughout the world as we find level 6 Fade and Heal 3. Those are both learnable by the Red Wizard, which is going to be really nice when Gregory Puff makes his way to Crescent Lake. So the way these magic slots work, Retro, you're going to find certain classes, and Dangwu gets the rod right away. First old man just runs up and gives it to him. That's gotta love that when you don't have to dig around for the NPC. So in the vanilla game, spells are locked behind class permissions, and in the randomizer, those where the spells are shuffled in the magic shops, those spell permissions are tied to specific slots in the shop. So for example, in that Crescent Lake magic shop, the Red Wizard can learn the second, third, and fourth slot in white and the first slot in black magic. Those being, depending what those spells are in those slots depends on the seed and depends on the random number generator of the website at that time. But you can get some really good magic in there one time, and then the next time it's like, I guess I'm not learning Life 2 today. As Dangwu finds the Castle of Ordeals in the volcano, that's a nice find. I like that find. The Castle of Ordeals and the entrance and floor shuffle always has to be the top because there's a bunch of warping pillars throughout it, and if it's not at the top, I guess it gets kind of wonky with the floor shuffle. So finding it right away is pretty good. You sometimes you have to go through the dungeon a few times before you find it at the top of a bunch of stairs. And we see Dangwu checking a chest that's not often checked. This is a linked chest. That chest is behind a trap tile, which we talked about, and that chest is linked to a treasure chest on the next floor. So when he goes up to the top side, once he gets through this pillar maze, which is kind of giving him the business right now, he's going to check a bunch of chests, and one of them that he'll check will likely be empty unless he knows which one it is. It's the far left chest on the bottom row of 4, and those two chests are linked. So if he didn't open it, that one was going to be that 4,000 gold would have been up there. And Falconic bring up a good point in chat. So last night, Team Scrub lost to the Upstarts due to not having the ability to cast a spell. The spell being Fast. Fast was at level 8. We see Gregory Puff buying it right there at level 4. The Fast is something that will double the amount of hits that your melee damage dealers are dealing. And from there, without that spell, it becomes very difficult to overcome a fiend with high evade or agility. And at level 8, it's only going to be learnable by a black wizard. As Dangwu is riding the struggle bus all through Ordeals, I feel sort of vindicated in his struggles here, as he came out into my chat earlier today and was kind of rooting against me. So I feel a little comfortable with him struggling a little bit here. I don't want to put my thumb on the scale for any one team here. I want to see the best race possible, and I like to see Dang struggling here on the pillar maze a little bit. Makes me feel a little bit better. As we see Canuck entering the Temple of Ordeals pillar maze. We'll see how this goes for him. Wout picks up his mute gauntlet and another ribbon. So that's his second or third? That's his first.
I think
okay.
Second, but I'm not sure.
I wonder if he wiped, because I did see him wipe. I wonder if he wiped out of that first ribbon that he got, because his levels aren't looking too good for already 24 minutes in. All right, so Canuck, is this going to be a fourth pillar? I think this might be a fourth pillar. So you see that pillar that Canuck just took, it was one of 3 on the screen. There is actually a fourth pillar around a long hallway that you hate to see it, because it's such a long walk. And Dangwu is through the pillar maze. He's going to walk up through this. He's going to let everybody know there's nothing here, but we know that there's a few chests in here. As Canuck is now walking his way around to the to that fourth pillar, as Woke grabs his crystal And see, we're gonna watch Dengwu come down. The far left chest, that's empty because that was the Link chest on the floor before. But he just found the game changer. I know Falconic and Wilkliosis just got super excited to find that sword. The Vorpal is a sword in the vanilla game that doesn't have very good base damage, but it does have the highest crit rate. And so some of our runners really love finding it. And some of them, it's definitely a situational sword, and with flags like these, with those clamped bosses, it absolutely is important to have.
Yeah, especially if you're going to be doing that double strike you said with fast, that's got to come in handy.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Fast and the Vorpal are a match made in heaven. You throw in the power bonk or a saber spell on the wielder of that, and you got yourself a murder machine with that Vorpal. It is a fiend killer.
And we see the emote in chat right now.
There. Yeah, they love that. They love them some Vorpal. I like the sword. It's done me well in many a challenging seed. But the important thing, Greggly Puff finds the Temple of Fiends in the waterfall. That is our end game.
That is a big one.
Yep, that's where we're gonna end up. Whew. All right, Retro. I need some water.
What would you say your favorite? Like, what is your go-to weapon in this game? What do you always keep an eye out for?
It depends, man. I really like obviously the Masa's one of the most powerful weapons in the game. It's just anybody can wear it or equip it. The Vorpal is really nice to have. I'm a big fan of the X-Cal. Spells that pointing
Excalibur. That's a good one.
The spells app in chat pointing out the best weapon is the one you have equipped. I can respect that. The X-Cal is
so your
nice.
Wits.
Oh, you have found your wits. Oh, where were they shuffled to? I don't know. The X-Cal is a powerful sword that if an enemy has an elemental weakness, the X-Cal will take advantage of it, which is great up until you get to Chaos in the end game, because Chaos has no elemental resistances. And so it just does regular damage and doesn't really have a chance to overcome it like the crit rate on the Vorpal or the Katana, which none of our runners are bringing a ninja with them, which kind of a bummer. I like the ninja. But I'm a big fan of the any in-game sword. I really like the defense sword because it has a little more versatility with not only being decent damage for the in-game, but also having the ability to cast the Ruse spell, which you do that 3 times in combat and you're evade capped. As Greggly Puff is turning in... Oh, he gets like a Cure 2 gauntlet. So the Cure 2 gauntlet is the power bonk. So that mute gauntlet that our runners found earlier, that is the Zeus gauntlet reskinned. As the Zeus gauntlet is not incentivized, but the power bonk is. So our power bonk is Cure 2. Not bad, but it's not as good as the power bonk at all.
Never really realized how much the adult black mages in this game kind of look like Robert Smith from The Cure, specifically on Greggly Puff's.
Yeah, he's got the so Greggly Puff is using a fun percent option that we have called three color palette swap, which will shuffle the palettes on NPCs and the sprites in the game. And question in chat from John Reese: new thief. So the thief, there are new flags on the beta for Final Fantasy Randomizer that fixed the thief's hit growth. So they don't do more damage than the knight, but they get more hits with him. So it's almost, there's a lot of chat in the community about how can we have this ninja dual wield katanas, because that's exactly what they should be doing. So our devs went in there and modified the thief's hit growth to basically double it. So it is like they're wielding 2 katanas when they're wielding the one. And damage wise, they kind of keep up with the knight a little bit. They don't have the durability that the knight has with the ability to equip certain armors, but being able to rock that katana, which again, like we said, has the highest crit chance in the game. And when you critically hit in this game, you ignore all absorb that the enemies have. So Chaos has max absorb at 255. Well, guess what? Your critical hit doesn't care about that, and it's going to do regular damage as if that absorb didn't exist. Question from Jed Levi: how does the ninja compare to the master with additional hits? Well, the master once you get above level 32, the master's in a class of its own, which is why the master and the black belt are banned here in the co-op tournament, because it would be almost too easy for one player to be digging through the world looking for all the things while another player just grinds up a black belt to level 42 to just go and punch his way through chaos. So we wanted to kind of avoid that. We wanted to highlight what this co-op can be, and in order to do that effectively, we had to put a soft ban on the black belts for this tournament.
Pretty interesting that Dangwu found. Looks like there were 2 pro rings in that one room.
That's a great find. So there are 3 pro rings in the game loose. So that's a wonderful find, because that's money he doesn't have to save, and that's instant protection from the death element right away for whoever he's putting on. So those that glare ability that we saw earlier from the gargoyles, that instant kill isn't going to kill them. All right. So we have the Hangry Canuck checking out the armory. We're still looking for a lot of loose items here. We don't have the floater, we don't have the crown, we don't have the key, the loot, we don't have the adamant, we don't have the slab. Man, there's still a lot of stuff out there. I think there's 8 or 9 loose items in this flag set, so encourages exploration as Dangwu finds a rub axe. Now, rub is one of those instant kill spells that works. It's just it doesn't work very well. He also finds the X-Cal, so we'll see what he does here. Is he going to equip the X-Cal? No, he equips the X-Cal. So Dangwu is one of the newer entries into the Team Vorpal, and I think he just rescinded his invitation with unequipping the Vorpal. Falconic, Will, you guys might want to talk to your newest rookie here on Team Vorpal. He just put it away for the X-Cal.
He's just disappointed it's not a rubbed Vorpal.
Yeah, when they find a way to put spells on in-game swords, that'll be a whole different that'll be a whole different Final Fantasy randomizer. Could you imagine a Masa with a nuke on it? A Masa
Start
nuke.
a petition to officially call it the Vapor Rub.
Will's Vorpal Rub. Yeah, instead of Vic's Vapor Rub.
It does a body.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be... So, Rub is a very low percentage spell to hit, but if it does hit, it's instant kill. It's a 3 in 256 chance to hit, which basically makes it slightly better than a 1% chance. But it looks like Gregory Puff's going to go down, and he's going to make his way to carry. Are we going to get our first Orblit here at the 33-minute mark? All right. Gregory Puff pulls
here's a
the
question
Fiend
for
of Fire.
you involving Rub that you might not know. You said it's a 1 in, you said 256?
3 in 256, as Gregory Puff is taking on the Fiend of Fire. He gets a nuke off.
Oh boy.
Gets a fast. Here's another nuke. 129. Carrie's got a decent amount of magic defense, or these are some low rolls. Nuke is a spell that can hit for up to 400 damage in a single go. And there's the beauty of the Cure 4. Picks his Red Wizard right up to just get punched in the face again. Carrie is proven to be a little thick today. She's got a minimum of 100 HP, or 100% HP, which puts her at about 600 to a maximum of 200%. So she's anywhere from 600 to 1200 HP right now. And Gregory Puff is trying to finish her, but she's giving those wizards a business there as nuke goes off again for 172. And here comes a big swing from the... Oof. What's that? I think he's rocking the Sun Sword. I don't think he's found the X-Cal. Yeah, that sword's not going to do it, bud. You need Quad X, erased. So Quad X is a great spell. It's a modified version of the power word kill from D&D. If an enemy has 300 or fewer HP, that enemy, regardless of who they are, unless they're undead, is instantly killed. So it's one of my favorite spells to cast in the game, and it doesn't care about magic defense. And with that, we'll call it the 34.5-minute mark, the Upstarts have lit their first orb, and it's the Fire Orb. And you can see it highlighting on Dangwu's screen. Right. Thank you, Spells App, clarifying. It's not just undead, but any folks, any of the NPCs or monsters that are immune to the death elemental. All of the undeads are immune to the death elemental. I'm trying to think of the ones that aren't. I think, but don't think live on Twitch. So you were asking me a question, Retro. Well, I'm sorry. I wanted to call that fight for carry.
No, that's a good point. My game's lagging a little bit behind, so I'm actually glad you called that right there. I wasn't sure what was happening with Gregley, but so with the possibility for the double strike on the knight, with that, like the double hit, does that percentage reset, or do you know if each hit like ups the chance for that one hit kill with Rub?
So the fast doesn't have any bearing on the rub ability, on the rub spell. So
Okay.
it will always be 3 and 256 unless an enemy has lowered magic defense or isn't resistant to the death elemental. You'll see some of our runners trying to do. I know a split punch was the father of the meme strats, but Dangwoo's. Oh, we just found a fade helmet. That is a huge find.
Very nice, very nice.
Because that is non-elemental damage. That, and there are 2 of them. So Fade Helmet is the heal helmet, like I said, of which there are 2 in the vanilla game. The way spell item magic is shuffled in the game, there's going to be 2 of those. Both heal helmets are gonna roll the same spell there. So they'll both have Fade, and that's a wonderful thing to find. But to your point, Rub, like I said, it's not very effective, but there are meme strats, and some of those memes are offering Lich and Carry pieces of birthday cake and having them fall into a crack. The Poison Smoke, the Bane spell on Tiamat, or Brack strats on Kraken, breaking them into pieces. Those are viable options when it comes to high percentage clamped bosses. I've seen Warmech get rubbed, or rubbed the wrong way. That wasn't a dang strat. That was a CC strat. I saw Crabcakes, our 2019 Spring Tournament champion, pull those strats off and rub a Warmech to death. It might have taken her 100 attempts, but she did it, and I appreciated her for it.
Those Warmechs are hard ones to rub off.
Yeah, the robot chicken is a tricky boss to deal with, because Warmech. Oh, we find Dangwoo finds the waterfall buried here. So the waterfall is going to lead to the robot, which is going to give us another incentivized item. And so what I was saying about Warmech is one of those. The way the enemy abilities and spells are shuffled in the game, the final 4, the boss refights in the Temple of Fiends Revisited, Lich, Carry, Kraken, and Tiamat, and Chaos, they're all of their abilities are thrown into a pool with Warmechs, and they're all shuffled. And in that pool there are, I believe, 4 nukes and 3 nuclears. I might have those backwards. It might be 3 nukes and 4 nuclears. I think I just said the same thing. I have verbal dyslexia sometimes. As Gregley Puff grabs his X-Cal. Thank you, MG Weirdo in chat pointing out it's 3 nukes, 4 nuclears, and a cure 4. There's a few others too. There's Tornado, Swirl, Inferno, Thunder, Blaze. There's a bunch of other enemy skills and spells that can be shuffled amongst those, as well as their AI scripts, which can, and there are also status touches, which I'm sure we've seen. I just haven't called it out yet. Where enemies, when they hit, they have a chance to do something, to add a status effect to your party member, whether it's poisoning them, stunning them. It could also instantly kill them. One enemy in this game will have an instant death touch. You want to find it early so you never find it late game. But it could be Chaos. Chaos could have death touch, and death touch doesn't care about those pro rings. It doesn't care about your magic defense. The only way to get out of that is to boost that evasion with ruse or invis, and to basically don't let them touch you. There's also a stone touch where the enemy can punch you in the face and turn you to stone all in one hit. And we saw that, I believe it was week 2 or 3 of the spring tournament, 2019 spring tournament, Will Cleosis and Tristal MTG found themselves on the wrong end of green Medusas that ambushed with Death Touch and Blaze and slowed their Topher crawl to a crawl, or their Topher dive to a crawl. So, oh, thank you, Jed. So, Mancats, Elemental Slimes, the Guards and Sentry Robots, the Golems, Nightmares, the Evil Men, and Warmech all resist death. So, at least in the vanilla, right? So, because I know Warmech can be rubbed, but we have taking out that mage tile.
Could that death resistance be randomized in this seed here? Like,
no, the enemy. So the base enemy stats are not randomized. So when our runners find themselves facing Mancats or Elementals, they won't be able to quad X them. Question in chat: did either team use the Ruby to go through the Titan's tunnel to the other side? I don't think we have. I think so. I want to say I've seen the Titan get fed, and I've seen people walk through. So I believe that was the Upstarts that did that. That's a great point, Will Cleos, for pointing that out. So in the entrance shuffle, you could have in the vanilla game, the Titan's tunnel east and west, always it's one cave. But the Titan's tunnel in this could have been the Temple of Fiends vanilla location, and then you feed the Titan, you walk through it, and you can come out in the Mirage Tower. That sort of thing. So, and you can use those to start chaining and there we see the looks like the mud goals have stone touch. So might want to go buy some soft potions, because we're going to see mud goals quite often here in the waterfall. We're going to see them in the Sky Palace, and we're going to see them in the Temple of Fiends Revisited.
Yeah, that is not a fun thing to deal with, right?
Not at all, because there's no way to undo stone status in combat. That character is essentially dead for the rest of that fight.
Looks like Gregley found the programming room with the two of them.
Yep, and we're getting our first check here of the waterfall. We find the herb, we find a bunch of money, and we find a loose slab. So the waterfall here is huge, as there's going to be and a saber shirt. Okay, so the key item there, that A-lit, that is an anti-lit sword. That is the defense sword shuffled to, instead of having ruse on it, it now has A-lit, which is something that grants resistance to lightning magic. However, that saber shirt, we'll find out if that's the black or the white shirt, but being able to cast saber is going to be huge. Like that's one of those spells that's going to I think it adds 2 or 3 attack power to their swings. So you're gonna put that saber shirt on your knight. You won't be able to equip it, but he'll be able to hold onto it, wave it around, boost his strength, and start swinging his sword when they get down into the Temple of Fiends Revisited.
Just that mental image of a knight running in, swinging his shirt around wildly before.
Yeah, well, look at this awesome T-shirt I got in the gift shop. As Woat lights their first orb for Team Scrub around the 43-minute mark. And it is also the fire shirt. Question in chat: the shirt will hit the entire party? No, the saber is self-target only, so the spells will mirror what the spells do in the vanilla game. So, yep. It will self-cast on whoever uses it, just as the saber spell would. Alright, so Dangwu finds the dwarves. He's going to turn in, see if he goes down and turns in his TNT. As we see other folks doing some shopping, some traveling. Canuck is still fighting his way out of the waterfall here. Dangwu, you don't have the adamant. Why are you talking to him? Alright. Let's find out what Narek has. He has the opal bracelet. So that's, apart from the shirts, that is some of the best armor for mages to have in the game. And it looks like the saber shirt is the black shirt. So instead of Ice 2, it'll cast Saber. It's not a bad find. as Wout clears out the Temple Fiends and saves Princess Sarah. He's going to be able to double back to Canary to get that turn in, to get that key item. Wout just finds his favorite sword, the Sun Sword. Sun Sword is, apart from the Masa, Vorpal, Excal, it has the best damage. So it's like 4th best sword. It's comparable whether or not it's better than the defense sword with the defense's ability to cast ruse. Although the Sun Sword is extra effective on undead enemies. Alright. Dangwoo's finding stuff that Gregory Puff's already been to as they reclaim a bottle again. Alright, so let's take stock here and see what we got. We're about 45 minutes in. We have sighted Carrie. We have not found the Bridge of Destiny, where we know Wormack will be waiting at the end of the long bridge. We have not seen Lich's floor, and we have not seen Kraken's floor. So we're still looking for fiends here, and we're still looking for a means of air travel. Those fiends, I have a feeling, are all going to be in the... Okay, there we go. So we see Gregory Puff using the... what Will Cleos is talking about through the wormhole. He finds the slab, gets the slab translated as those objective NPCs are shuffled, but he can't turn in the herb as the elf doctor is not there. So pretty nice that the west side of the Titans tunnel is the Bahamut hole and the east side is Elfland Castle. So that's not too bad. It's a pretty good find. As Dangwoo finds Bahamut's room, he's going to come up here and check to see the Elf Doctor should be here because I believe, yep, we saw Bahamut in Melmond. So Bahamut, Melmond, or Bahamut, Dr. Un, and the Elf Doctor are all shuffled, as the community likes to refer to them as the Doctor Shuffle. Dr. Bahamut, Dr. Un, and Elf Doctor. So unfortunately for Team Upstarts, yeah, they're both going to need to come back here and check with the herb turn in isn't necessarily a key item, so that one won't transfer. So where the slab translation will, if you translate the slab, your partner can immediately go to Lefane, talk to the Lefenish people and get their key item. If you do the herb, if you give the herb to the Elf Doctor, you have to be the one that goes back and talks to the Elf Prince, which is the floater. So, perfect. So we see Gregory Puff waiting in the Ryukon Desert, waiting for that floater to show up, and just like that, they're instantly airborne. That's what I love about co-op, being able to anticipate what your teammate's doing through communication and working together, using teamwork. I love it.
It's exactly what I was about to ask. Like, so from the gameplay you're seeing so far, are you seeing like any sort of risky gameplay? Are we seeing more conservative movements here? But that seemed like a pretty bold strategy, and it paid off for him.
Yeah, it's a bold strategy. I think they did the math, and it looked like Gregory Puff was heading that way anyway, and he said, hey, if that's the floater that the Elf Prince gives you, cool, I'm going to be right that way. And Dangwoo, I'm sure, told him via chat it was the floater. He's like, all right, I'll just wait here for it. And then they were able to go, and now Gregory Puff can start doing a lot of these Northern Continent turn-ins as he turns in the bottle to get the cube, which will get them past the cube block. All right, and now Gregory Puff's going to walk down to Lefane and talk to the Finnish people, and it looks like Team Scrub is right behind them. They're doing the same sort of things. They're getting the herb check, and Canuck looks like he's going to go back to Elfland Castle, and yeah, so they're maybe like 20-30 seconds behind the decision making that the Upstarts were doing, but this is still anybody's game. We've seen
It's still pretty close.
Yeah, we've seen Temple of Fiends, you know, just be a brick wall. So
Yeah, and with the health buff and like everything else being randomized, you really have no idea what you're walking into, which is what makes this really interesting to keep track of. So from what you're seeing so far, also like ignoring the strategy, where would you go if you were looking for more of the fiends or like the key items right now? What would you be checking out at this point?
exactly what Gregory Puff's doing. I'd immediately go to the Cardia Isles. As soon as you have the airship, you go to the Cardia Isles because there's 6 entrances right there, and he immediately finds Lich's floor. So they're gonna get their second fiend orb lit, barring any sort of major catastrophe from Lich 1, as he's just coming out swinging, dropping nukes. 176, big swing from Sunsword, about 129. So Lich has rolled more than vanilla health. In the vanilla game, Lich has 400 HP. He's already put in about 600, and there's 3. Yep, that'll do it. So at 51 minutes, Gregory Puff has lit the Upstarts. Yeah, the Lich got lit. As Dangwu finds the star floor and just skips the chest to find the teleporter room. So this is another fun feature of the randomizer, which I'm sure our runners aren't appreciating right now. The floors, the teleporters are randomized, so Dangwu has to walk around here looking for this. As Gregory Puff has already found another fiend, and now he's got to fight Warmech to get through it. He fires up the fast. He's got some nukes coming, and he's going to be swinging. So 3 damage, not much doing there. More nukes coming. Quad X from Warmech. There's the fast off on the fighter, or the knight rather. Here comes nuke, 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 and fight. So big swing, 4 hits, 113 damage. Nuke for 170, nuke for 140, and nuke for about 187. Warmech's still standing, punches Wout in the face, tells Wout to go to sleep. Robot hug.
Ooh.
Here's some more nukes. So that level 1 nuke is doing work, but THC goes down as Robot Friend is... Now, did Gregory Puff not grab the Saber shirt? Because okay, nuke takes it down. So Dang and Puff of the team Upstarts of Gregory Puff's team are still standing at a ton of XP. It looks like they jumped up 6 levels, those surviving light warriors.
That is insane.
That is the...
You know, it's actually the first time I've seen Warmech in one of these Twitch games, like watching your games and everything. I haven't seen Warmech show up until now.
Well, welcome to the joy of our illustrious Robot Friend, as we are now on T-Mat, and we're going full instant kill strats, broken into pizzas. There goes Tia. And
done. Down. There you go.
At 53 minutes, Gregory Puff of the Upstarts has lit the 3rd orb. So Gregory Puff is the killer on Team Upstarts right now.
1-2 hit, taking out Warmech and then going after Tiamat. It's good shit. Good stuff.
Yep, and he also took out Lich right before that. So if he comes... And there's the Kraken floor. All right, so now we're...
Oh my god, just nonstop.
Yep, so now we need to find... Not a pure stick. We need to find a mystic key and a loot. That's going to be our dive here. So Dangwu is here checking out the rod block. He's going to talk to the vampire, figure out why he hasn't given the Lich his roommate's money yet. And here we go with the Kraken pole. More of the same strategies. Here come the bracks. Here come the swings. And is Kraken going to get broken into pieces? Odds are probably. Ooh, big hit there. 317 from the Sun Sword.
Yeah, that was a hard one.
And Kraken gives him a free round with ink. And here comes a brack, and ineffective. Sun Sword comes in, 7 hits, 324. Here comes another brack. Ineffective. So these bracks have about a 20% chance to hit. And it's just a matter of time. This is now the 5th one. And there it is. Gotta love statistics, man. As down goes Kraken, Gregory Puff, and Team Upstart. Or the
Gregory
Upstarts.
is on a roll right now, just steamrolling.
Yep, and at the 54-minute mark, they have lit all 4 of their orbs. They are close to go mode. They just need to find the key and the loot, as Canuck realizes that I should probably save before I come in here. He's confirming what he's got. and he is going to walk in as you see his roommate, his teammate is on the Kraken floor as Gregory finds the mermaids. That's always a nice find. A bunch of chests here to check. Talk to the ladies. Get some of their loot. Maybe there's a loose key here. We have an anti-rub
we
stick.
got Hangry prepping up for the Wormek fight too.
Yep. As Dangwoo's digging through the first floor Mirage here. All sorts of new stuff to look at. All right. And we have Nuke coming out. And we have Kraken. Oh, man. Nukes are coming.
So we got
the Fade helmet.
Canuck fighting the robot. Scrub fighting their Wood fighting the Kraken.
And Gregory's digging through chests and broken into pieces right away. Whoa, takes them down.
Very nice.
And clarification in chat, Canuck took down Lich. So that's why I love having chat helping us out, man. There's these races can be quite a lot to keep track of with all the different floors and all the different runners and key items. So thank you for helping us out with that.
The real unsung heroes.
Yeah, MG Weirdo and Iringham, they stepped up to the plate. That's another thing I love about this community. I've been in this community for about 2.5 months now, and the excitement, the passion behind a lot of the folks out there that just want to step up and help out. And Iringham and MG Weirdo are both new to the community, or newer to the community, both new to tracking, so we appreciate them coming out. We won't be able to restream this race without their help here, so it's a big shout out to them. As Woad is now clearing out the mermaids, and Dangwoo is continuing to dive this dungeon. I missed where the entrance was, where he's in.
Canuck's going after Tiamat.
Yep. And with the way his screen is cropped, we're unfortunately not going to see that announcement broken into pieces. We'll just see Brat go off and Tiamat disappear.
And there we go. Yep.
All right. So we are all 4 orbs lit. About 2.5, 3 minutes separate our runners.
Oh, dang, we found a ribbon there.
That's a good find. I mean, it's not going to get you into the Temple of Fiends, but yep, we need
You'll look pretty though.
Yeah, it's always nice to have a little ribbon in your hair. And it looks like Team Scrub is going to go check the Mirage Tower entrance. I don't see a chime lit up on their screen, but they might have it. They should have it. I don't remember where the chime came from, but we'll find out as Canuck finds the TNT, which we've already found. As everybody's walking around on some floor of sky, we're checking the star floor, and there it is. Dangwoo finds the crown. I don't remember where Northwest Castle ended up being, or if we've even found that yet. But that could be that could be loot or key, which would be welcome sites to find. As Woat's going to get the bad news that he doesn't have the loot as he the cube as he tries to walk north here. Yep, can't walk in there. Nope, you don't have it. You got to go back, man. So the hunt for the...
look like they're pretty close to that 200% 12 key item buff too.
Yeah, what counts as key items is more than just what we see lit up on the tracker. The ship, the bridge, the canoe, the slab. I think the slab turn-in counts.
Good to know.
Yeah, so they should all already be at the incentive item or the incentive XP boost. And here we go. Dangwoo's getting the crown turn-in, and it's the white shirt, which is the fear shirt. So the hunt continues. So it looks like we're going to need to find the adamant, which will turn into the key, and Marsh Locked will be the loot, if my headcanon is correct here. So Marsh Locked is the only other incentive location I think we can find. I believe Marsh Locked is. Let me double check these flags. First, yes, Marsh Locked is incentivized. All right. So we need to find the bottom of Marsh, but we need to find the key before we do that. So there are 4 doors locked at the bottom of the Marsh Cave, and one of them will have a key item. And unless both key and loot are loose, and there's another sort of zonked item behind that. So it looks like Dangwoo, even though they have they've killed Tiamat, looks like Dangwoo is gonna go after Warmac for experience, which isn't a bad move here. Yeah. And here, let's see what he's gonna do. He's gonna fast up Greg. He's gonna throw up Fog too. Nope. He's gonna throw up Wall on Greg, and he's gonna nuke and Saber. And the quad axe comes out from Warmac, doesn't do anything. Wall goes up, Saber goes off. Here comes a nuke, and here comes the fast. So good buff round. Here comes the Fog 2 to boost that armor up for all those light warriors. And Fire 3 comes out. Just basically does chip damage.
Smack.
Yeah, basically just does chip damage. So we got the Fade Helmet being used. We got nukes. We got non-elemental damage getting thrown around all over the place. And great
Just
damage
totally
rolls.
Stuffing that orange paint job on the Warmac.
Yeah, great damage rolls with those spells too. As Dangwoo gets the full party kill. As Canuck finds first floor of Earth and Sardis Cave. And he's going to check west side of Titans and find the less than greater than room. And I think he's communicating with Woat, just letting him know what he's finding. And I'm diving. All right.
So pull back real quick for a second. One thing I always like about these games are the names that people pick for their parties, like what they might mean. Obviously, we see some like cross names here with like teammates.
Yeah.
But do you have any idea what any of the names and any of the teams might represent? Like if they're players that are around?
So I'm pretty sure. Well, we see Will and Woat on Canucks, Rosa and Loki. I'm not sure if they have a significance in his life. I know Rosa is the White Mage in Final Fantasy IV. So, is this new? Turn in the crystal. We got Opal armor and a little bit of money. What does Matoya have for us? There's the key. All right. So, Team Scrub, finding the key first. That key, if my math is correct, should lead to the loot in Marsh Locked. So, whoever's taken notes and wrote down that location, if they found it, has the advantage here. As Dangwoo finds the dragon armor, that's the best armor in the game for a knight. That has the same absorb as the opal armor that Canuck just found, but where the opal armor only has lightning resist, the dragon armor has fire, ice, and lightning resist. Oh, correct. Thank you, Jed, pointing out in chat that the adamant will likely be in Marsh, which will lead to the loot. As Dangwoo finds the ice cave, he's gonna have a bad time in realizing that this is not incentivized.
Thanks for the info, Asher and Twill, on the names there.
Nice, thank you. Yeah, I remember when Woat came on the podcast, as Greg Lee grabs his key, he shared that Tony is always a white mage, because that's who he had me name my white mage after, as he digs out the rod block. So Greg Lee looks like he's right on Canuck's heels with finding this information, getting the key. He's checking key lock chests. He's in Temple of Fiends. He finds the Phantom tile. So that's good to know that is not going to be in Temple of Fiends or Visit. We knew that it was very unlikely that it would be down there. but always good to get confirmation. The Phantom is a very hard punching enemy, and he gets a fog sword out of it, so that fog sword is typically the Bane sword, so you hate to see that there. The Bane sword is such a wonderful addition to the game. To be turned into a fog sword kind of feels bad. All right, so we're looking for the bottom of Marsh as Gregory dives into the Earth Cave, gets the big lava floor, and there's Dangwu finding loose adamant. So we're gonna find out what that loose adamant turns into soon as Gregory finds the bottom of Marsh. This is exciting, man. But yeah, I think yeah, it looks like all of Dangwu's party members, Greg, Zap, Asher, Brax, those are all part of the Duckling class that Dangwu came out of. Those are all great runners, great people to be around in the community. And
I keep hearing this Duckling thing tossed around. Are those like the starting off?
Yep. Or... Ducklings are that's what we all start out as. We all start out as little baby ducks. And Mama Duck or Lord Fizzlebeef, depending on which Discord you or both. I mean, they both run Duckling seeds in the respective Discords, but there's only one Mama Duck. And there it is. Gregory Puff finds the loot in
there we go.
The bottom of Marsh. So I was right. I was wrong in that I forgot about the adamant, but I was still right. Commentated cursed dad. Yeah, but Mama Duck and Lord Fizzlebeef and a lot of other folks in the community. Tarnin is really great with it too. They craft seeds and sort of like training programs to get new runners up to speed, to get them learning the flags, what they mean, pathing through the dungeons, what it looks like, how you should be going, like what's the most optimal route to be doing things. And they're not really set in stone classes for the it's more of like a cohort kind of experience where but the adamant does turn into the Moss Immune, so that's
my favorite sword.
Yeah, that's a nice find. I like seeing the what's his name, Beardy McSwordsmith or whatever, Swordy McBeardsmith. He yeah, Gregory Puff does have the key. So both of our the Upstarts are in go mode, and it looks like Dangwu is heading toward the Temple of Fiends. He's going to go in there and get information as Gregory's going to grab that Masa. The Duckling Initiative is a great way to get, if you're interested in the Final Fantasy Randomizer, if you're interested in learning how to do anything that you're seeing our runners do, the Duckling Initiative is a great way to get off the ground. Everyone's super friendly and helpful. There's a ton of online guides and like sort of like little trackers and things to help you learn it and get caught up to speed. And every week there's a Duckling seed in both of the Discords, whether it's Moist Mogwai, Mama Duck, or Lord Fizzlebeef putting it out. They sort of escalate in difficulty, where you're going to slowly learn the game over time. And Gregory Puff and Dangwu all came out of the same Duckling group with Asher and Braxis Muse and Spellzap and the Duckling.
That is very cool.
Yeah, and I'm a part of the newest Duckling cohort with folks like Thundercloud, who's on Thunder's recap. The dude is just tearing through seeds as we find level 8 Temper. So big call there to bring Black Mages for everybody. The 2019 Ducklings. Yeah, we got Thundercloud. We got Super Luigi's. I see him in there. Cheesinator. I see him doing Duckling seeds. I see Shaumel and Sledge. I see Ailmarkin in there doing Duckling seeds with us. It's a lot of fun runners in there. And
I'm gonna start making a lot of Flying V references if Asher wants to start talking about the Mighty Duck.
Dude, you got to get in there, man. You got to get in there and start running them with us. All right, and we see Dangwu. Looks like he's prepping for his dive. He's burning off houses. He's getting his and good job, Dangwu. That's not where the Temple of Fiends is. That's the wrong Temple of Fiends, bro. You got to go to the waterfall. So, all right. So with the co-op tournament, we have the option of doing mid-race interviews. I'm gonna pop down and see if Dangwu wants to come up and talk to us about what he just tried to do. So, you have the comms, Retro. I'll be right back.
And that led to Waterfall.
How's it going, guys?
It's going awesome. Have we lost yet?
No, you would have seen that by now.
I know, I'm joking.
Dangwu, can I pull you up into chat for a second? I want to ask you a question.
Sure, why? Dangwu wants to come back for the interview.
Hey, Dangwu.
Oh, how's it going, everybody?
So I see.
Hey, welcome there, buddy.
So I see you try to get into the Temple of Fiends. How'd that go for you?
Well, it turns out that it swapped with Canary Castle, and habits never.
I was watching do your prep, and then saw you try to go into the wrong temple, man. Well, you're getting ready to dive Topher. I just wanted to kind of bring you up here, tease you a little bit. I'm gonna put you.
It's all good. I got a nice ribbing from my teammate. It was well deserved. I knew you were coming in to pick on me because I would definitely do it if I was the commentator. So for that, thank you, appreciate it. We're gonna have a talk later about this because that was.
I'm putting you back, man, so you can do this Topher with your partner.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. I love that we have the ability to do the mid-race interviews, man. It's so much fun.
There you go.
Yeah. All right. So we have. Looks like it's
We
gonna.
know you're trying to focus on the game, but how do you feel about that thing that you just botched right there, buddy?
How do you feel about dropping the ball there, Dangwu? It's a rookie mistake, Retro. You hate to see it at this level of play.
They lose if they happen to lose, come back in. So do you think it was that one moment there that really caused it for you?
Nah, they're good sportsmen. Dangwu and Gregory Puff have a lot of fun. If you haven't watched their streams with them practicing co-op, they have a really great banter. It's like and it looks like Canuck is right there with them. So we have a foot race through Temple of Fiends Revisited as Canuck is a floor behind as he's checking the validation chest. He's validating
really
his
cool.
run. Soft potion, $340, and he's gonna crack open that plate with a little guitar solo. We got thank you, MG Weirdo. We got a 48-second difference into diving Topher. Canuck didn't get the Masa though, so no team scrub Masa. So we'll see if Wope digs that out. If they dig out the loose adamant and ice, which I don't see them doing, but Gregory Puff is doing his last minute preparations. Grabs his Fade helmet as we have. I wonder, did both of our runners do hard resets before they came into the Temple of Fiends? Because if so, they will be on the same exact encounter table, which will be interesting. And so if Dangwu gets a Chimera fight right here, yep, they are on the exact same encounter table. So depending on how they do their steps, if anybody missteps or anything like that, they'll see the exact same Temple of Fiends. So we saw Temper at level 8.
That is good to know.
But we did see Fast, yes. And we have level 1 nuke and a Fade helmet. This is and Canuck beats Dang to Lich 2, and here comes a nuke.
Up with Canuck.
Nuke 302 damage, another nuke 360, and like that, we've microwaved that Pop-Tart, and
done.
Lich is down, and Dang is going Dang strats. Lich fires off with a nuclear. He felt himself get nuked in another dimension, and now he's throwing out the nuclear radioactive energy back in their face, and
Brax at 11.
But
that
just
was
like that,
hit.
just like that, Masa shows its worth as Carrie unleashes a tornado onto the Hangry Canucks party, and Nuke comes out with a big run in it.
Canada not known for its tornadoes. That's dangerous.
It's hard to prepare for that. As Dang
Blame Tim Horton.
Dang gets the same run here that Canuck got, as nukes are coming out left and right. It's hard to see the way the Canuck screen is cropped. It's hard to see, but and Fade, all that non-elemental damage is enough to undo Carry.
There we go. Done.
As Canuck dives down into the seafloor.
What's up, Iatane?
Dangwu is going to be taking on Kraken 2 here, and what are you going to do, Dang? You're going to burn
It is insane how close this is. Just
yes, considering all the route divergence that we had early on,
Yeah.
And big hits here. So none of these fiends so far have rolled a significant amount of absorb or evade yet.
It's all leading up to the end.
As Canuck is down to the seafloor, as Dangwu nukes out Carry.
Found the slab.
We're going
And the
here.
secret.
So Kraken 2 is the first legitimate gatekeeper that we could have here. This fiend typically rolls up to 14 hits, each one with its own individual chance to critically hit. And Kraken is known for trying to give out hugs, and they're never wanted. And we got Mama Duck in chat representing the Ducklings. Good to see you, Moist Mogwai. All right, so we'll see. Is he going to pay respect to Kraken 2? Is he going to reorganize the party? He's healing up. As Dangwu's dealing with the seafood party pack that tried to slow down Canuck. As here we go. No, he's keeping his fighter up top. He's going to use nukes and anything below. That's that saber shirt. Good stuff. All right, sabers and fades and nukes. Let's see how much HP.
There you go, Wab. You got the right idea. You got to channel that inner Emilio Estevez.
Kraken fires off with a Ice 2 as Canuck continues the assault. Dangwu is going to get that Wisahag and Gershark party. And nukes are coming, but they're not doing the damage. Kraken must have a good amount of magic defense here. And evade as the... Oh, but the Fade Helmet gets it done as Canuck is through. Now...
Very nice.
Canuck has 2 fiends left. Can Canuck pull out the win for Team Scrub to force the game 3?
The man who was tired from a baseball game coming from behind to take it all.
Yeah, Canuck prior to this was I think he's at a 13-inning baseball game, and came from that
13 innings
to quickly eat and jump in and do this co-op. As we see Dangwu preparing for Kraken 2, Canuck is going to fight off some air.
Fight goes for him.
And Greggly Puff has now entered the Temple of Fiends Revisited, and Dang's doing the fast wall. Here comes some nukes, and Canuck bumps into the Twilight Fan Club, and the vampires have Bane. That kind of feels bad.
Ooh, that's not going to be fun.
Yep.
Nobody likes a Bane Pyre.
All right, but he's through. So here we go. Doing some last minute heals. Here comes Tia 2. No party adjustments for Canuck though. We're gonna do probably the same thing. Saber shirts and some nukes. All right. The nukes are coming out. Decent turn order. Tiamat didn't really do anything too scary. I think he just punched Will in the face.
Dangwu dropped with the Quad X.
Nice. Quad X is one of those great spells, man. Instant kill if it doesn't resist death. And there goes the rub.
Canuck smacking around Tiamat with the nuke. Rub.
And so looks like chat pointing out that Canuck had a misstep on the water floor. So Dang will get that Twilight Fan Pack after the fight with Tiamat. Which if he doesn't heal could be... Oh, and there down goes Tia 2. So
there you go.
At 1 hour 18 minutes, Canuck is through to the final floor and on to Chaos. All right.
And now we got Dangwu fighting Tiamat.
Let's go, Canuck. Let's see what you got, man.
Brax is down.
All right. As here comes Woat right behind him. Just here to clean it up in case something bad happens to Chaos. Woat will be prepared to pick up right where Canuck left off. And here comes a big swing from the Masa. For
it's like Greggly just dropped Lich.
Yeah, Greggly Puff's going to catch up pretty quickly. But here we go. Canuck and Chaos for...
all the marbles. Here we go.
For the rest of basically for their livelihood here in this tournament. out of nukes. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do, Canuck? Out of nukes on Loki. Here comes a fade. Here comes that fade helmet. Is he gonna go all offense? Here comes a Saber shirt. This casted fade. Inferno comes out. Oh no. And the rub axe.
Oh, that is not how you want your fight to start.
Yeah, that feels bad.
Dangwoo dropping.
And Dangwoo gets air. Oh, Dangwoo's gonna get the airs, and here's the Twilight Fan Pack. All right, so here we go. Rub strats on Chaos. Let's see how it works out for. And there's the nuke. Perfect turn order there to keep that white wizard alive. So this is the Rosa and Wout show on Canuck's screen, as we got Cure Force coming out for everybody. Level 1 Cure Force is going to allow everyone to do this. And here comes a nuke. Oh no! And just like that, the double nukes. That feels bad. So let's see how Dangwoo reacts to that information.
That was brutal.
So Dangwoo coming in. Looks like he's got a bit more spell charges than Canuck had. Canuck is just sitting there waiting, sort of recalibrating, maybe grabbing a bio break. He's going to take a minute, adjust as Wout continues on for Team Scrub. The Temple of Fiends Revisited as Dangwoo makes his final preparations. And with Masa, it might be a little bit easier for him.
Yeah, it's definitely been a pretty close race.
But
the boss is not really...
Dangwoo keeps the Vorpal equipped.
Oh, he does. That's okay. Well, let's see what happens.
This could be the difference here. Canuck was swinging the the X-Cal. Fast gets off. Brax goes down, but if he doesn't heal up real quick, this is going to be... Yeah, he needs turn order here. Ugh. Okay, so the double nuke gets everybody but Greg on Dangwoo's side. Comes in and punches him really hard. Oh, man. Without any sort of evasion strats, this is going to be tough. Dang's going to keep sabering up that knight. Ice 3 comes out. That's not much to worry about. Big punch, 227 from Chaos. Inferno comes out. Swing from the Vorpal. 3 hits, 316 damage. Cure 4 picks him back up, but this is going to be hairy because Chaos has at least 2. Oh, there it is. Is it 6 hits, 716?
Oh, yes. That was a palpable hit.
And did we get the RNG loop? Another hit from... There it is! 7 hits, 966. GG. Dangwoo. Team
there
up
we
the
go.
Upstarts. 1200 damage, showing the Vorpal and putting everyone on notice. The Upstarts have arrived. I'm not even going to let them finish talking. I'm just going to grab them and drag them up. Dangwoo.
Yeah.
Dangwoo. GG.
My God.
GG.
Oh, that Chaos brought the heat.
Yeah, it did.
GG. Upstarts.
Hey! Oh no, my black mage is dead. That's sad news.
Thank you. GG.
It doesn't matter.
All right.
It does matter to me. Dang it. I'm gonna fight Chaos too.
And we just
Team
received word that Team Scrub has forfeited. So, GG. GG, guys. How did that feel?
Oh man, that was... we didn't feel very good about that. Like, I'm not gonna lie. There were times where I know for both, like, where are we going? What is happening? What do we need to do next?
Yeah. So, I sent Greg Lee to go do the Titans thing, and he completely forgot to go to the other location. And that we lost so much. We didn't get into the floater or the air for so long because of that.
yeah, it's pretty gnarly for sure.
So
that one man wrecking ball with Chaos was crazy to watch. I would have sworn you were gonna drop, but it was a solid back and forth.
I'm just glad that there was a space in between that double nuke again,
Yeah.
where he casted Quad X instead. I was like, oh, thank goodness, because I knew he was coming back around.
Canuck, Woat, GG, how are you guys feeling?
Like y'all didn't bother to interview us at all during the race.
To be fair, I only interviewed Dang once, and that was because
I went for carry again at level 5.
There was a lot going on, so I wasn't. I don't want it to feel like I was ignoring you guys. I was just juggling a lot.
Yeah, I
To
just
be
went.
fair, the only time he interviewed someone was to make fun of Dangwu. So
I'll allow it.
Had I seen the level 5 attempt on carry Canuck, I would have definitely wanted to talk to you about it, because those are some strats I can respect.
It happened very quickly.
Yeah, it was over before it began, we'll say.
Well,
No, GG, guys. We missed the loot, and we farted around so much at the beginning, it wasn't even fit.
to be fair, Canuck, you and Dangwu entered Temple of Fiends Revisited around the same time, and I think Dangwu, had he not gone to the wrong Temple of Fiends, would have entered probably like a minute before you. But you pulled Chaos first, and your wipe was right when Dangwu was pulling Chaos. So like you were definitely ahead for that time.
I just went down as an info dive for Wout. I didn't expect to make it anywhere.
Yeah.
I didn't have fast. All I had was the Vorpal and the X-Cal, and I was level maybe 20.
Oh, yeah. You definitely would have had a lot of hard time with that Chaos. Holy, that
He
double nuke.
nuked me. First 2 rounds, nuke, done.
Yep. He killed. Luckily, my Black Mage survived, so he could cast fast. And
I had no ribbons either. Not a single one.
Oh.
Yeah, that was. Whew, that was a spicy one. I was like, "That's 2 nukes. Okay, we're okay." And then I seen the next one. I'm like, "Oh, we're deep in the spell pool. Those other 2 are coming in quickly here."
Well, and I said to him, I was like, there's no way he's back around his spell list. He does 8 spells, and then we realized, 3 nukes. Oh, lovely.
Yeah, I didn't even get an attack off. I had found a saber shirt though, so I figured, well, hey, we'll go with that. But
yeah, the saber shirt was huge.
Couldn't hit the fiends for nothing though. They had high evade, all of.
Yeah, luckily Kraken was pretty close to vanilla HP. I mean, she couldn't have but like 1,000 HP.
Yeah, he only ice 2'd me twice before I got rid of him. So the toughest one really was Carry. Carry was up around 1,200 HP.
Yeah.
That Fade helmet put in some work for me though.
I had to redive for the Fade helmet and the saber shirt while he was doing Temple.
Oh my god! It took me about 45 minutes to dive that long place just for like an Aegis shield and the waterfall. Oh my god, what a ways to go!
Yeah, it was pretty awful, that particular dungeon. But like I said,
9 floors that ended up in the waterfall.
So
we were literally wrapping our brains around what are we missing. And then eventually I was like, because I when we got the ruby, I checked the chest, but I didn't go through to the other end because I haven't had to do that. The only other time I had to do that was the very first entrance floor shuffle seed I had done. So I completely forgot to do that and just.
I know it led to something, but I can't remember what.
It led to Canaria Castle, which
the princess gave me,
and the princess gave us something.
Weird shirt or something.
It was the Cure 2 gauntlet.
Oh yeah.
No. It led to Elfland Castle. I'm sorry, which that led to the floater.
Right. So one of the big differences between the Upstarts and Team Scrub was
we suck.
Shut up.
The adamant turn-in. So that netted the Upstarts the Moss immune.
Oh man.
So did we ever even see the adamant?
No, we didn't.
The adamant was loose in Ice Cave in the Frostwolf room.
I never did Ice Cave. I never found Ice Cave, to be honest.
Yeah, where the hell was Ice Cave?
Ice Cave was buried.
Mirage, I think.
Yes.
No, it wasn't Mirage. I dug out Mirage.
I'll guarantee you I know where it was.
Let me pull up my notes here.
It started at Sky 2. I remember I said I found Sky 2. We never went back.
Yeah, it was Sky 2, wherever that was. I don't remember.
No, Sky 2 was Mirage. I dug to the bottom of Mirage.
Or Mirage Tower 2, whatever, that floor there.
Oh, okay,
The
greater than
less
Leston.
than.
I think that was in
Yeah,
the,
wherever that
was
was.
the Cardia.
Wow.
Yeah, wherever that
areas?
was.
I think it was in the Cardia, one of the Cardia holes.
It all
Could've been.
blended together at that point.
Yeah.
They
I don't take notes, so I don't remember. I just go in holes and hope something's there.
Yeah, and of course we didn't.
That
we
didn't
didn't
sound
write,
good at all. but-
BTO's rub.
You
we
did.
didn't write anything down for Mirage. So
I tried the Rubax Chaos, but that didn't work.
Rubax Chaos. Nice, nice.
Doing them, might as well.
I'm honestly surprised you made it to Chaos.
Me too.
With no ribbons, because the vampires had Bane.
Yeah, they got me. I hit a big patch at them right before Tiamat. I hit like 6 wizards and a whiz vamp.
Yep.
And they did get off a couple, but they only killed my black mage. But I had life 2 on my red mage, my white mage, and my fighter, so I really wasn't worried.
maybe it
That
was,
I took fighter rainbow mages this time.
hey Dangmo, I think it was Titans West that had the ice cave. Because
That
you
sounds
remember
about right.
I sent you to one of those places. I was like, go to this
Titan
place.
West.
Yeah,
I
because
checked
So-
Titan West, but I
that was
didn't
the
go
other.
down.
That was the other stupid thing that we did was we again had another roadblock where we were like, where do we go? And then I was like, we never checked Sardis Cave and Titan's Tunnel West. And then
Because it literally we had no notes for it, but we just managed to miss Titans West and Sardis Cave. So we're just like, where do we go?
Wow.
We don't understand this.
Yeah, at one point, the stream may have seen me like run down the west coast of the southern continent. That's because we were trying to remember where Titans was, because we realized we hadn't checked the other side of that, but we couldn't remember where it was until a little bit later.
And of course, what do I come across? A marsh cave.
But hey,
Like
Canuck,
it gravitates to me.
Canuck, it worked out for the best that they finished when they did. Guess who reset out of that second ribbon, apparently?
Oh, really?
Yep. Because I got baned on everyone but my red mage, and it was just like, wait, I thought I had 2 ribbons.
Yeah.
I don't have 2 ribbons. Okay, then.
I noticed that
Yeah.
too. I thought you had one, and then I think you had found it and maybe had taken a wipe and lost it.
No, I found 1 ribbon, and it took it out. I found the other ribbon, like,
Oh.
I want to say under either Sarda or Titans West. And I guess I just must have reset out of somewhere without forgetting to save.
That's tough.
Yeah, I am quite surprised I made it to Chaos. Like, my levels were poor, my spells were poor, no ribbons. But I made it.
well, dang. Let's keep up with better notes.
Well, that's no fun.
So
I know, right?
Dang
Yeah,
Woo.
seriously,
Well, I'm
you
gonna
guys now
say-
represent the team's scrub tactics.
To be quite honest, for me and Wout, we've never played co-op till at least 2 matches. We've never practiced. I didn't even have it installed. I didn't know the flags till 2 hours before our first match.
Oh
I'd say
my.
we did pretty good.
Yeah, you guys
Yeah.
really did good.
Hey,
I mean,
To keep up with you
Or-
guys, at least,
or-
I
or
found
we
that was
did-
quite good.
it was
I
a
would
great
like to
race.
believe that we just did. I would just like to say that we just must have done really bad. That's all I'm saying.
Gee, way to be a graceful winner.
It helps
Way
us.
to be
No.
a graceful winner.
no, you
Let me tell you.
guys
And
really
I
put on
rushed.
an incredible show.
And I rushed home from a 13-inning baseball game for this.
Oh,
We did mention that.
Oh,
No.
they just
yep.
You guys were beasts. That's all I can say. Like
yeah, you guys were good too, man. It was fun. I enjoyed it.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, no.
Good
Now we get
luck
to
going
actually
ahead,
enjoy
guys.
commentary.
Yes.
Actually, I had you guys to beat me in my bracket anyway, so it's all good.
All right, Pete Rose.
All right.
It's a smart man. Bet
you know
against
what?
yourself and throw the race.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't go that far, but
Yeah. And next time we do a co-op tournament, Canuck and I might actually practice for it, and then everyone needs to watch out.
But
No,
Oh,
I'm not
don't lie to
practicing.
us like that.
I'm not
You don't
practicing.
lie to us.
Yeah, I mean, I'm lying to myself with that one. So let's be real.
I mean, we're talking about practice here. I mean,
Yeah,
come
not a
on.
game, not a game. Practice, not the game that I go and die for every night.
Anywho, I
Yeah,
slept
anywho.
like complete garbage, so I'm gonna go ahead and clock out here.
thank
Are we
you,
still
Woden.
live?
GG. Yes.
Yeah, we are still live.
Oh, are we?
Yeah, we're still
Yeah.
in the post game interview. So,
Yeah.
Right
Dangwoo,
on. Final thought it up, boys.
Yep, Dangwoo, Gregley Puff, you guys move on to the round of 8. How are you going to prepare for that flag set?
We'll probably do a couple of practices, stream them, yell at each other the whole time. Dengwu, I'm sure, will slip on some banana peels, do silly things that'll make me rage out, and yeah, we're just gonna do our best, and maybe we'll stumble into another victory or two.
Well, GG Team Upstart, or the Upstarts, GG Team Scrub, Woat, Canuck, you guys have any final thoughts on the seed, the co-op as a whole?
It was fun. I, in retrospect, wonder if I should have taken a thief instead, but, hindsight is 50-50. But, as always, y'all know what I'm going to say. Shout out to Cinchilla and Twill. Love y'all both.
Yeah, no, good luck moving on, guys. And now that we're out, well, we have to commentate some of the Game Changers matches and just make fun of them wide open.
Oh, absolutely. Like, that's the whole reason to get into this tournament, is just to have an excuse to do that.
Yep.
All right, then I'm out. Thanks for the commentary. Thanks to the restreamer and the trackers. And it's fun. Now I'll just sit back and watch the rest of the action.
Yeah, Rafe, or I keep calling you that. Caleb,
cool,
you did double duty on comms and restreaming, right?
Yeah, and I had my good buddy Retrotainment in the booth with me. He's very new to the community, so it was a lot of exposition describing co-op.
Watch everyone, you guys did great.
It's awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
Greg,
Thank you.
No, it was fun, guys. Like I said, good luck moving on. Thanks to everybody, and have yourselves a good night.
Yeah, take care, all.
Gregley Puff Dangwoo, you guys got any final thoughts?
Well, now that we're actually done early, we get to watch our competition. So I'm going to be paying attention to that. And as Gregley alluded to, we're definitely going to try and practice because we got to work on this. A big shout out to the Meridian. He set up this thing where we can actually have tracking of all the floors, and we're connected it to our partner. So it's a little weird because we kind of got to learn each other's shorthand and pay attention to it.
Nice. Gregley?
No, I mean, just thank you, Ray or Caleb. God,
You've
look at
met
your
me
name.
in
Sorry.
person,
Yeah, I did.
Greg.
I know. I know.
That's cool, man.
They broadcast FFR out, and of course Falconic and Meridian. Well, Falconic A for putting the tournament together, and Meridian, of course, for actually coding the whole thing. So it's pretty awesome. So we look forward to the next time around.
Absolutely. Retro, first time in the booth, first time really consuming FFR this close up. What were your final thoughts on the
I
race
need
and
to
whatnot?
find some sort of like government grade medication to follow everything going on 4 games at once. But it was a blast keeping up with everything. You did a great job explaining things while keeping the game going. Just good fun all around. The chat was fun. People were really doing a really good job keeping us informed of things we were missing here and there. It was fun. That's really all I have to say.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Retro, for joining me in the booth. Thank you, Dangwoo, Gregley Puff, Woat, Hanger Canuck for putting on an awesome show. Thank you to Earring In and MG Weirdo for doing the tracking. Thank you to Randomania for hosting us and for hosting us throughout this entire tournament. It's been a ton of fun, and we're just getting started, man. This is only night 2, so with that, we'll pass you off to Randomania. I guess they're still going on that channel, so if you want some more co-op action, go check out Randomania. Otherwise, we'll see you at the next one.
Good luck, guys. Have a good one.